What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how to properly snap down. So we're going to be talking about all the specific things you guys can do at the top of the route to work on that trigger step to be able to get out of a curl break, a comeback break, a dig break, any situation where you guys have to snap down and drop your hips rather than working a speed cut. So I hope this video gives you guys some value and it teaches you a few new things just about how you guys can improve your route running and improve your game at the top of the route. Now, also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want over an hour and a half's worth of specific content to improve your game and take your game to that next level as a wide receiver, check out that very first link in the description for our Route Running Bible. What you could get for the price of only one program is a 2-week long How to Improve Your Route Running in 10 Days training schedule. So it's 2 weeks of specific exercise that you can do on the field with specific sets and repetitions to improve your route running. And we give you a 48-minute long video on 20 different press releases, when to use each release, and then drills to work on each press release. So I hope you guys could check that out. Everything to take your route running skills to the next level. Very first link below. Let's get started. So this first clip here, this is a textbook kind of trigger step, snap down, whatever you guys want to call it, but it's all about being able to stop on a dime and create energy. So the main step that we're going to be focusing on is this step right here, this trigger step, right? This is the one that everybody loves to talk about. This is the one that gets out because everybody freaks out when you say, oh, don't beat the drum. You don't want to beat the drum at the top of the break, right? Now, beating the drum is one of those things where I'm sure everybody's heard of it. It's where you chatter your feet. They call it beating the drum because that's what your hands do. I call it milking the cow because that's what it looks like. Now, the problem with that is that it just takes too long. Now, I'm not one guy to tell you always like, oh, you want to eliminate as many steps as possible. But beating the drum takes too many steps. But most importantly, it takes too much time, right? Because of all the choppy steps that you guys are taking. And when you start to beat the drum to be able to decelerate, you got to start beating the drum like 2 yards, a yard, maybe even 3 yards before you actually have to make this break. But snapping down and doing this trigger step right here and being violent, as I like to say, with your hips, and a lot of people like to say, that's what helps you stop on a dime and you make a quick change of direction and you're able to sell vertical a little bit longer. The whole point of the snap down is to get you guys to sell vertical for as long as possible. So you see when this receiver right here, he's able to snap down in stride, right? Now, this is something that everybody loves to say, oh, you can't teach that because they see Jerry Jeudy do it. They see Calvin Ridley do it, and they think those guys are just freaks of nature, which they are. But I've seen guys, even at the lowest level, even in youth ball, be able to master this move with time and with repetition, doing the specific drills and exercises that they need to do, right? So this is something that 100% can be taught. So when you snap down like this, the most important thing is, I would say, trusting your hips, because that drop of your hips is what really allows you to slow down. That's what allows you to drop your weight. So you see when this receiver drops, it's not like he's just stepping super hard. This is the mistake a lot of people make, and everybody's like, oh, I'm going to blow out my knee if I do that. I'm going to hurt my ankle. Yeah, if you just try to stop and you don't actually drop your hips, yeah, you're going to hurt yourself because nobody can make a break like this on one single step without dropping their pad level. So the most important thing is you dropping your hips and bringing your chin to your knee when you snap down. It's a hard cut, but you got to actually drop your pad level. The way I think of it is like in the olden days when they had that thing like the guillotine where it would drop down, it would cut a dude's head off. That's what you want to think of your hips as. You want to drop everything down. You want to drop your entire pad level down on that specific step. Because again, trust me, that's how you guys slow down and make a quick change of direction while going full speed. So that's the main technique. You want to make sure that you trust your hips and you want to make sure that your chin goes to your knee. A lot of guys will snap down, but their chest will be straight up in the air and their chin will be pointed straight up in the air and they'll almost be leaning back. And when you're leaning back, you're going to not have any explosion because the goal of the snap down is A, to slow down, right? A, to be able to change direction on a dime, but also to be able to create energy. Because again, like it's like a 40-yard dash. That first 10 yards of the 40-yard dash, you're trying to be as explosive as possible. You're trying to generate as much force as you can to give you that acceleration for the next 30 so you could get up in the like hit your top speed. They call it the drive phase, that first 10 yards, right? And you're trying to be low and explosive and as much as power as you can generate in those first 10 yards. That's how you want to think of the break. You're trying to generate as much power as you can. You can't do that if you're not in a low explosive position. If you're standing up tall with your chest up in the air and you're beating the drums, that's like trying to run a 40 just standing straight up in the air. You got to be able to get low, create explosion because you want to be able to stay low throughout the follow-up steps of that snap down so you can create some energy, and that energy turns into acceleration to where you can explode back to the ball. Because it's not enough to just drop on a dime. It's not enough to just get separation from this guy here. We got to make sure that we keep separation because again, this dude knows he got beat, so he's really putting his head down. He's trying to accelerate and make a play back on this ball. So I got to create energy and use that energy to turn into acceleration. That is how you can properly snap down and properly come back to this ball. Let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job using this trigger step, dropping in stride, getting low enough to create that energy and explode back to that ball. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as possible. I always appreciate the feedback. Helps me come up with new ideas, so I definitely appreciate that. And also, fellas, Las Vegas, we are coming down to Las Vegas for a 2-day two-day quarterback and wide receiver clinic for youth and for high school on September 11th and September 12th. Hope you guys could check that out if you're in the Las Vegas area or close to the Las Vegas area. It'll be a lot of fun. Get out there, get some good work in during the season. Hope you guys could check that out. That's the second link below in the description, fellas, for our two-day Las Vegas quarterback and wide receiver clinic. I really appreciate it, guys. I'll see you guys next time.